What is going on, YouTube? Brendan for Market Makers, your home for Wyckoff and Advanced Fibonacci TA. Wild day in the markets. How perfect was my title from Sunday? There will be blood, and blood there was, my friends. Bitcoin down 15%. The S&P is now officially in a bear market, down 22%. The NASDAQ down 34%. Everything is rolling down. It's going to find support at some level and rally. Guys, we are trading this market in segments. Bitcoin, as you can see on my screen on the weekly, came down roughly to the 200, right at my target that I identified here as a possible retracement level of 2382, and we are at 22982 at the time of this recording. So this A wave here may have to move over, but let's just see how deep this goes, because my next level down is 17956. Guys, want to take a second. I want to show you our Discord. Lots of people have been asking questions. What does it look like? One of our professional traders shorted this Bitcoin, posted it in our trade signals. Lots of people took this trade. I want to share with you a couple of these returns. This is in our community chat section from this morning. 821% return. Never seen this kind of profit since I joined this group. Great community. And then you see under here, amazing, thank you, market makers, a 1,114% return. We had a short posted at 28.4. Obviously, you know Bitcoin declined dramatically. Guys, over here on the left is the main menu. We have trade signals in a bunch of different areas: Bitcoin, alt, stocks, Forex, commodities. Lots of education here, video playlists, documents for PDF books. We do live streams. We do lots of different things in here, guys. Live streams down here, memes. We have fun in this room. Community chat, 6,000 people on the Discord. The join button right underneath the video on YouTube, guys. It's integrated into, trying to talk and do this at the same time. It is integrated into YouTube so you can join. And now I want to share with you somebody I trust very, very much. He means a lot to me. And I want to play a very short clip so you can see something very interesting. 3 months ago, I made a super bubble video. Okay, this is going to be a very short clip. I made a super bubble video. I used the S&P here as an example, utilizing a Fibonacci wave. I want to point out to you the 1618. 3739, okay, 3739, 1618, the golden ratio. 3 months ago did this based off the price action. I will be updating this video, as I told you, with Inflation Nation after the Fed announces the rate hike. And let's go ahead and play this so you can see this, okay? Again, okay? So we have two SPX crashes of over 50% or just at 50% over the last 20 years. So we can gauge where this would go. And I want to show you this in a Fibonacci wave projection as well. So let's go ahead and look at this. Taking our price declination from the all-time high, just to get to the 2618, which is at 3211. Right now, we are trading at 4300. You're looking at a 33% move to the downside from the all-time high. To get to the 4236, which brings you just under trend at 2357 on the SPX, there's your 50%. That is a 51% move. Pulling COVID, see exactly where this gets you to. Do you see this? You're at the base here of COVID. These bottom candles from the COVID crash. That coincidentally is also your long-term trend. So basically the way to view this is you're giving up the Fed pump. All the liquidity pumped into the marketplace, all of the money printing pumped into the marketplace, the asset purchasing, the lowering of the interest rates to 0%, all of that's coming back, and you're returning basically to your COVID lows here on the SPX. Now the SPX, as I said, that guy, that's who you guys need to watch. He sounds brilliant. I don't trust anybody else, but I trust that guy. Let's go ahead and pull up the TA now. So guys, what I was talking about in that video, in case you didn't catch it in that real quick clip, the S&P has lost 50% twice in the last 20 years. It did it in .com. It did it in the Great Financial Crisis. This is the mother of all bubbles. This is a 3 sigma super bubble, multi-asset class bubble. We will at a minimum decline 50%. That brought the S&P exactly down to those pandemic lows. That is where I get my Bitcoin target from as well, guys. This is where Bitcoin went to. It found long-term support here at that 3,800 number. This is the number you see on the low on my screen, 3,858. This is why I'm giving you this prediction. And people say it can't happen, and that's totally fine. Everybody can have their own opinion, but I can tell you right now, that is a conservative estimate. The S&P will go down 50%. I personally expect it to go down 66%, but you have a Fibonacci wave, and you have historical precedent of the S&P declining 50%. The S&P just now hit minus 22%, and Bitcoin's at 23K. So this is the first leg completion and the bubble deflating. Okay, we have the NASDAQ down 34%, the S&P finally entering a bear market minus 22%. They're most likely doing 2 more legs like this, which means your S&P is down 66%, again, Dow theory, and that brings your NASDAQ down to what? That brings the NASDAQ down a lot. That would be like 90+%. I think the NASDAQ's going down. Again, historical precedent, it went down 82% before. I can easily see an 80% decline, maybe more, 80 to 90, somewhere in there. And I know that sounds crazy, guys, but it already did this, okay? It already did this. And for the people that are more in my age bracket, Gen X, you're well aware of this because we lived through the dot-com and we lived shortly thereafter through the great financial crisis, okay? So a lot of people who are younger, it's like, no way. No way Bitcoin can lose the 200. It won't happen. Guys, very realistically, we can rally off this 200. Okay, if we can hold this, if we can get through the Fed meeting and the markets don't freak out about whatever they say, and again, I don't know what they're going to say. Part of me thinks Powell is such a beta, he's just going to say 50%, okay, or 0.50 rate hike. But the big news today at the end of the market, the last hour, Wall Street Journal breaks a report saying the Fed is considering 0.75. If they raise it 0.75, I would imagine the markets dump further, which means I'd be looking at this next level of support, 17,956. That's the 18K region, okay? We're going to lose the 200 if they raise it 0.75. Now, having said that, I don't know what other commentary Powell's going to say. If he says we're doing 0.75 and we're going to skip a couple of months, the markets may rally. So I don't know what he's going to say. As you guys know on this channel, what I'm doing is trading the market in segments. We had a short because we saw a short coming for Bitcoin. We took that short. That was profitable. Now we're sitting here at support. Will it break through support? If it does, shorting it. If we start forming some type of pattern, which we'll look at in the smaller time frames, going to go for a rally, okay? That's what we'll be doing. We trade the market in segments, but just be aware everything hinges on what the Fed's saying. Be aware when I talk about the bubble popping, when I talk about 3,800 Bitcoin, that does not mean tomorrow. The actual pattern here ends in March 2023. I'm still looking for a rally up. That rally up is going to come. It may come at this lower level. It may happen here. I have to move this A wave over. So we have this projection. By the way, guys, this is just a forecast. Like I don't trade with this, right? This is macro market movements, but this is something I utilize for a forecast because it is a Gann market pattern, the law of 3. Price moves in 3s. It respects natural law. And this is something that I always look at. That's how you get ABC corrections, okay? So I'm still looking for a rally up, but we have to find a bottom. And we don't know what the bottom is until we see what the Fed does. When the Fed raised rates the first time, the quarter point, when they raised rates, the day before we rallied, okay? We rallied. So we could have a strong rally and then a big steep sell-off. We could have a couple of days of a rally, or we might not get any rally and we just continue tomorrow what we did today and start bleeding again. And then you got to pray Bitcoin can hold that 200 moving average, which it won't if the NASDAQ keeps going down. They all swept their lows, okay? So what you got to understand, they all swept their lows. And the NASDAQ has a history in crashes of going down, in bubbles, I should say, going down 82%. Now, obviously, 2 more legs of 34%, that's not going to happen. But I can see the NASDAQ going down 80 to 90%. And I know that sounds crazy, and that's fine. But I'm just telling you where everything's looking like it's going based on my TA. I will have updates on all the new price action with my Inflation Nation video coming out after the Fed announces the rate hike and everything, okay? We'll go over all of the current price action. Here on the weekly, again, with our Gann fans, as you can see, looking at this level, again, I see support down here at this 19K area from this next Gann fan if we do lose the 200. And guys, oh yeah, that number, the 37, whatever, 3750, 3737, look where we got to. So I made that video 3 months ago on the S&P. The S&P, well, it's after hours now, but it was 3760 or 3758 is where we got to. So within $20 or $40 back 3 months ago when I made that super bubble video at the golden ratio, okay? From that wave projection from 4,300, which means it was trading up here when I made that video, got that wave projection. We hit the 1618. At some point we will rally up and then we will turn down again, okay? This is going to go downhill. There's more bleeding, more blood to come. And let me show you something here with the symmetry of the market, and then we're going to get focused on Bitcoin. Here's Bitcoin on the 4-hour. Fibonacci wave projection, looking at support as we were declining here. As you can see, we hit the 2618. This is Bitcoin on the 4-hour Fibonacci wave projection. Russell 2000 Fibonacci wave projection on the 4-hour. As you can see, hit the 2618 on the dollar. The NASDAQ Fibonacci wave projection on the decline. We hit the 2618. We were using it as support to this last candle here. We fell through it at the end of the day. Everything sold off even harder. But all three of these marketplaces, crypto, the Russell, and the NASDAQ, heavy in tech is the Russell and the NASDAQ, obviously, and Bitcoin trades like digital tech. They all tracked almost identically, hitting the same Fibonacci target, okay? Just keep that in mind. That's how much symmetry there is in the marketplace. Here on the daily time frame, very ugly. We swept our low. As you can see, our next support structure is lower down based on this fan. This fan going back all the way from the pandemic lows, okay? So 19776 is where we're at here for this next support level. And again, we do have Fibonacci between here and there. So let's go ahead and just draw a wave real quick. We'll do it here on the daily. You can see we fell through the 2618, okay? We fell through the 2618, and you can project this different ways. You might want to go up and do a larger wave projection, but this, you can also just do a simple retracement. But again, this is just another way of looking at this, and really, I'm not looking at Bitcoin at all for price action. I'm looking at the markets, and I'm going to see what the markets do here in the after hours and in pre-markets and how they open up, and then I'm going to know what Bitcoin's doing. Are they stable? Bitcoin's going to find a bottom somewhere and hold support. Are they dumping? Bitcoin's going to dump. Clearly, it moved at the same pace, hit the same fib targets as the other two markets. So that's what I expect, guys, in this marketplace. And let's look at a couple of things here. Let's see if we have any volume support around here. You're pulling some candles here on the daily. We are below heavy volume resistance, and again, the VPVR works off the candles that you have pulled in. So I got to pull in a lot of candles here. Okay, let me look at the volume. So you're at volume support basically at the last rung right in here, and then you got a deficit. You see that deficit, and then your next volume spike is out here, which kind of lines you up with this bottom of the Gann fan as well. It's just, you got to be aware of this stuff where with volume, where you're looking at, because you don't have a lot of price history in that range. Even when you pull in all those candles on Bitcoin, you have to just look at where it can go to, okay? Let's go ahead and look at some Gann levels as well. Go ahead and pull this up. You can see we just got below 23, which is part of the cardinal cross. This is a key support line, and 21K is the next support line as part of the ordinal cross, and then 19K, right? So 19K, 18K, right in that range is where I'm telling you Bitcoin's going to go if it keeps rolling. It needs to hold this area. You want to stay up in here, see the other markets settle, and then see what happens with the Fed. And if you keep declining, guys, if you keep declining, you're going to get below the 200 on the weekly, and then that's resistance to you, and that's a big monster headache. We can look at the indicators, but obviously everything is going to be blown out. These are the types of candles we've been talking about, guys. This is a breakout candle. High relative volume, multiple sigmas away from mean, and as you can see, well above the moving average cloud. Okay, and unfortunately was a bearish candle. RSX still has room to go down. You can still go down. You are not oversold. Look at our volatility channel down here. The volatility channel opened up on the daily, right? And again, this can still expand even more. So you have room to go down. So we need to see what happens in the next 48 hours. Be open-minded. Be ready to trade either direction. Let's look at the 8-hour. 8-hour, as you can see, fell right through the fan that we've been using as support, fell right through everything, and again, 2618 fell right below the 2618, trying to form some type of Wyckoff trading range. We don't have enough candles here in these larger time frames, so we're going to look at the 4-hour and the 1-hour, but you can see here on the 8-hour, you just have your potentially selling climax and an automatic reaction. That's all you have right now, if these even hold up, right? You could still go down more. 8-hour, you can see the volume or the channel expansion. You are oversold here. Big breakout bearish volume bars. And let's go ahead and move forward. I know a lot of you guys are interested in the smaller time frames. 4-hour time frame, and Bitcoin's looking bearish here again. So 4-hour time frame, guys, a lot of this stuff, let's go ahead and open this up. Volatility channel is expanded. Let's see what the cloud and everything is doing here. Go ahead and throw Ichi on. The cloud is descending, as you can see. Everything's going to be descending. We're well below our moving averages. Need to see this kind of round off down here. You want this to round off and start making some type of base, okay? You want to see a base form here. See if we can hold this. Very important for Bitcoin to do that. And let's go ahead and look at a couple other things here. Let's look at, see my zigzag channel shows. We are on the support of the zigzag line. You see that? So, you know, again, Bitcoin looks, everything's going to look very bearish. I mean, it's stating the obvious, but, you know, this is what happened. Everything dumped. Everything dumped. So when everything dumps like this, it was a pan sell-off. And when I mean pan sell-off, I mean everything. It's a financial term. And if you look at this, look at gold, or look at gold. Gold dumped, okay? Big red bar. Silver dumped. Everything dumped. Oil was down. Oil came back up, but everything was down. So we got to see if Bitcoin can hold here, guys. Let me go ahead and throw my GAN levels on here as well. See what levels we are approaching. And it's the same level, 23,000. You want to get back above 23,000. If you can't hold 23,000, you have a bias to come down to 21,000. So you want to stay up here, start curving back around, get above 23,000, get above the 2618 at 23,213, and hold this area and see. And it's a wait and see game. See what happens with the Fed. If you start violating this and falling out of this range, I need more candles. Okay, I like to trade in the 4-hour time frame, but I need to see more candles so we can determine what exactly is happening with Bitcoin. The 1-hour time frame is not very powerful. I want to see this settle, and I have a feeling it may settle, and tomorrow we may see some action, guys. We may see a reactionary rally back up the other way just before the Fed announces what they're going to do, or you could see more downside. We cannot tell. There's a lot going on, guys. In the Dow, like I said, I told you previous video, the last 11 weeks, the worst 11 weeks since the Great Depression, and the Dow made a new record. 3 consecutive days of 600 plus point losses, the first time in the history of the stock market. The first time. Lots of bearish, lots of negative news. Need to hold support. We'll see if we can swing back up. Guys, another video coming tomorrow. Lots of data to go through, lots of charting to go through. Be ready to jump, guys. Consider checking out our room and check out the great exchanges in our video description, BITGET and SimpleFX. Talk to you guys tomorrow. Have a fantastic evening, my friends.